Jeff in Boston, Massachusetts. See more better with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and today I get to cut another really cool pair of lenses for the RayBan 6589 color 2501 in the 59 eye size. Kind of a throwback to the vintage, a new twist on the vintage. Of course, your hard shell RayBan case, your RayBan cleaning cloth, and they even throw in the string mount and a strap for should the string ever break. I'll put that on there for you. Of course, they come with a little plastic sleeve on the temples to protect the temples from rubbing together during shipping. I'm going to put that on there when I ship to you. But this is the RayBan 6589 color 2501, which is the silver in the 59 eye size. This frame comes in 5 colors. It comes in gold, silver, black. It also comes gold with tortoise here, or gold with black around the edges. We're going silver with the transitions XTRAactive gray with the silver flash mirror. So this should look really, really cool. These new flash mirrors are awesome. But let's go ahead, get this ready. I got to program the shape into the computer. Let me get that ready for you. This is shape 1303. And I'll include that on there. Let's go ahead and put that on there, shall we? Before I forget. So years from now, should you ever need new lenses for this frame, I can pull this number up, this barcode, which will be programmed into the computer. And you can use this little strap to change out the lenses, and you'll see how I do that in just a little bit. But first, let's go ahead and get the lenses prepped. I need to mark. This is semi-rimless, meaning there is a string at the bottom of the frame, so there's no actual frame to trace. So I need to put 2 dots on this lens, and I've got this graph that tells me that everything is where it is supposed to be. Okay, that's on the same line. You guys missed any of that? Let me recap. I'm going to do that more than once tonight. So the reason I put those 2 dots on there, now let me take the lens out. If I can, if I may. Come on out, you. Come on out. Oh, you're going to be stubborn. You're going to be like that, are you? Okay, there you go. I'm going to take the frame, or the lens, put it into the tracing element here. Right lens goes there. I put those 2 dots because there's a little line on the back. And I'm going to line those 2 dots up with a line on the back there. Press that on there firmly. Put this into the tracing element and hit the right lens. So it's going to trace the actual outside of the circumference of the lens to know which shape to cut. And of course, it's going to ask for the bridge size, which is 15. Because here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality, you buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame, and you'll receive 1 free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase, whether they're prescription or not. Jeff, you know you need prescription. So, just a moment, that shape will pop up onto the computer. You don't believe me? That is the shape that I'll be cutting. So, move on to the next screen. It's going to ask for your pupillary distance, which is 63, so 31.5 in both eyes. The computer starts at 32.5. So I'm going to tap the minus button a couple times till we come down there. I want to raise the optical center height up about 3 millimeters to 28. And we can now get your lenses prepped. Let's see, one of these 250 minus a quarter at 90. Let's go ahead and spin the axis wheel to 90. Put the power drum on 0. Let's make sure everything's moved into place. And we can put the power drum on minus 250. Exactly halfway between 2 and 3. And if I'm lucky, one of these will show me a little bit of astigmatism. It is this one. And this is the right lens, so that's going to be on that side. Let me get everything lined up. That's that. Let me check your astigmatism correction. 1 step. We are good to go. Of course, I forgot. Let's put some ink into the lensometer. The never-ending inking. Inky, inky, inky. Inky, inky, inky. And we can raise that back up, make sure everything's where it's supposed to be. And it is. Now I can put 3 dots onto the lenses. That is good. This is the right lens. Put that on the platform. Let's do the same thing for the left lens, which is -2 1/4 sphere. We can put that on -2 1/4. The thicker part of the lens is going to be the outside. So I'm going to put that there. Find the optical center, which is there. And really I only need to put 1 dot on here, but I'm still going to go ahead and put the same old 3. And this is the left lens. Now again, guys, if you miss any of that, let me recap. So, where I'm at, let's clean up as I go. Where's my stylus? It fell in there. I need a block. I need 2 blocks. I need 2 Jenny from around the block. I need a double-sided adhesive sticker to put on there. So I'm going to stick this onto the first one, do the same thing now for the second one. And pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. There's a little silver button on the back that is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice. The first time it's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the arm. And we're going to get everything lined up. The reason why I put those 3 black dots on there tells me that it's oriented in there just perfectly. Your left lens, when I said I only needed 1 because you have no astigmatism, now you have the smallest amount possible in the right lens and you have none in the left. But I'm still going to make sure everything's lined up perfectly. Hit that button, the arm's going to come down, place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing now for the left lens. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky, line up the magnet where it goes. Same pupillary distance for your left eye as it was the right. 63 divided by 2 is 31.5. It has mirrored the left, same optical center height. And we're going to make sure those are lined up in there perfectly. Check that. We're looking good there. And hit that button. The arm's going to come down and place a block onto the left lens. Now this is the edger. This is what's going to do all the work while I run my mouth. It is an Essilor Nexia is the brand and the model. It costs $40,000. It weighs 200 pounds. I recommend everyone go out, buy their own, put it on your kitchen counter, then you can cut your own lenses at home, and you will need this guy with the 2 thumbs and the bad jokes to do it for you. The actual cutting wheel is this diamond crusted wheel, like a heavy grit sandpaper that's going to grind away the lens material. This wheel in the center, actually that's not going to do anything. Let's do this. I'm going to show you something here, do something a little different in here. We're going to, let's move that out. So the door is going to close. And the internal guts, let's clean that off. That's part of the reason I want to do that. It's time to clean that up. But this disc is going to cut the groove into the lens so it stays inside the string of the frame. Now what most people don't realize, they see this part, you have a matching one on the inside that has a groove that goes around the top of the frame that holds it in by the top of the groove, as well as the bottom, which you do see. This wheel, this little disc, that's what does the safety bevel on the, I'm going to do the front and back surface this time. There is the drill bit that does the whole drill holes for silhouette lenses and stuff like that. Clean everything while I got it there, although that's not going to be used tonight. This disc is what's going to cut the groove in there. This is going to smooth out the edge of the lenses. Let me move that back over. And actually, this wheel on the far right, which you never get to see used much, this is the polishing wheel. He wanted the edges of his lenses polished, so it'll go from the cutting wheel. It'll smooth it out here before it goes to the bevel and then the polishing. So this will take a couple minutes longer tonight. I'm going to wake the computer up. Number 1303. Number 1303. These are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic, or Trivex, I would select that. One thing you'll notice on this one, usually for metal or plastic, you get the V-shaped bevel. This time it's going to cut the groove, which is that center one. For drill mounts, it's flat along the edges, but we're going to do that. I am going to polish the edge of the lenses on this one. I'm going to put a safety bevel on the front convex ever so lightly, and I'm going to put a safety bevel on the rear convex surface of the lens. So I'm going to press that on there firmly. I'm going to hit the green arrow to start. The door closes, the clamp shuts. Yeah, that was the right lens. And then the lens is going to be traced by 2 wide styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see as it's going around tracing the shape of the right side of the frame. And then the old carpenter saying measure once, measure twice, cut once. It's measuring where to place the bevel so that the groove will fit into the frame evenly. So in just a moment the lens will drop down onto the cutting wheel. The light you see flickering in the background is water. It's there to catch the optical sawdust as it comes off the cutting wheel. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, where plastic, high-index plastic, and Trivex lenses cut wet, meaning that water sprays onto the lens for the duration of the cutting cycle for those materials. Water will spray onto this lens, but only for the last 20 seconds, just to wash away any optical debris before the safety bevel is applied. So as I mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, which is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They're virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics grade lenses, the same lens materials that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel and flying debris. It also has 100% UVA and UVB protection. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So this is permanent sunscreen for your eyes, unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you need to reapply every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun there in Boston, Mass. So you got the Transitions XTRAactive. It comes in gray and brown. There's actually a third color, green, but as of now you can only get mirror coatings on the Transitions XTRAactive gray or brown. Hopefully soon you'll be able to get it on the green, but for now you can either get silver, gold, green, blue, red, or pink. Now the mirror coating looks almost like a kind of a cool, like an anti-glare coating on the lens. That's the one really cool thing about it while you're clear indoors. And when you go, and it also has a back surface anti-glare coating. Now when you go outside, it will turn one of the 6 mirror colors. Jeff went with silver to match the silver frame. That should look pretty cool. So Jeff, send me a selfie, please, please. This will be awesome. So now it's going on to the, not just the bevel wheel, but it's still going to smooth out any rough surfaces that are left over from the cutting surface around the edges of the lenses. And you can see some optical sawdust, some schwarf as it is called, around the edges of the lenses now. So out comes the lever. At the end of that lever is the spinning disc that I was just telling you about. That's going to put, oh actually no, it's cutting the groove into the lens now. Grooving, it's like Sunday afternoon. So it's cutting the groove that the string will hold into place. In the old days that was a separate tool that you would do manually. I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore. So it's actually cutting a groove about 1/2 millimeter into the thickness of the lens so that the string will seat in there perfectly. The width of the groove is 6/10 of a millimeter, and actually 6/10 deep if those of you are keeping score at home. So now it's going onto the polishing wheel. So water is spraying onto the lens while it is being polished. This one's going to be one of my longer videos, but you get to see some stuff that you normally don't see in my videos. Now this machine, as a default setting for polycarbonate, tries to polish all the edges, but I never do it because usually it's never seen in a full metal or plastic frame. In a semi-rimless frame, you do see the edge of the lens more, and Jeff specifically requested to have it polished. So I said, gotcha, I'll do it for you. A high luster polish, we have right now a satin polish, like most of them, is just the edge of the lens like you can't see. Maybe this will be thick enough to, let me pull that sticker off, that's no longer needed. I'll show you the difference when it comes out. That's a non-luster polish, and then you'll see a high polish. So now it's getting the safety bevel on the front of the lens, just to remove any sharp edges left over from the cutting surface. And then it will do another one of those on the back layer. Now originally we had discussed doing these in high index, and these are light bevels. For any plastic or high index plastic or Trivex, I would have to do a heavy bevel. But this is unbreakable material, so I can go much lighter on these than I can on any of the plastics or high index plastics. Okay, one lens down. Just a moment, I'll open this door with my mind. Take the lens out, dry it off. Take this block off, it is no longer needed. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the left. Press that on there firmly. Normally I would check to make sure the size is right, but on a string mount I can also alter that on the frame. Place the magnet into the chuck. Of course, by now you know I like to call it the Charles, because I don't know this machine well enough to call it Chuck. And I'm just sneaking that in for the left lens. Flip that over, hit the green start button just like before. The door closes, the clamp shuts, and then the lens is going to be traced by two wide styluses just like before. First of all, making sure the lens is large enough to fit into the frame, and you can see as it's going around. And then measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly where to cut the groove of the bevel into the lens so this stays. Let me go ahead and take this block off. Use my hand-approved drying method, throw that in there, put the sticker on top there. I always like to run my thumbnail around the edge just to get off any optical sawdust that you can see there. That was the back of the lens. Now let's do the front. Also want to run my thumbnail around the groove just to get any sawdust out of the edge. And I've actually got a toothbrush that'll help get in there too. Don't worry, I've never used this in my mouth. I only use it to clean the mud off my shoes. No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I'm a joker. I'll just keep that out. So let's go ahead and get this mounted. So Jeff, if you ever need to change the lenses out on here, what you do is you take them out, and here's the inside part of the string. Can you see that little part? There's two little holes on each side, and the string will go through one and back in and loop, and that's what holds it in place, the tension. So I always start at the nose and press inward against that string. Try and get that in the groove. Line it up in the top of the frame, then the outside. And then you have a ribbon that's in there, but essentially it's folded in half. You grab the string, grab hold of the second side so you've got some tension on it, and I start at the outside of the lens and then work my way inward, and when you hear the little snap, it is inside the groove. I put my finger on top of the string and then I slide that out. So we're going to come down here to the lensometer now that that's in there. So a polished edge, as you can see, is like that. An unpolished edge is the lens on the right. So it helps minimize the thickness looking of the lens by having it polished, makes the lenses look thinner. Come down here to the lensometer, but I notice I have lost my pupillary dot, so let's put some more ink in here. And I'm just going to do the center dot. I don't need the outer ones, because I only need to mark where the pupillary distance goes. Come down here, put it in above that dot. I should still be on the same axis wheel of 90. I am. And move that into the center where that goes. Check the power of the lens, and I'm getting minus 250, exactly halfway between 2 and 3. That's because the unit of measurement we use in the optical world is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It starts at 0, also known as plano, and goes up in 0.25, essentially quarter steps from there. So 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1, and so on. So you're on the 10th rung of a ladder. You are nearsighted. With your glasses off, everything is much too large. That's why there is a minus sign. Your lenses minify any image down to the correct size. So if I were to hold my PD stick up, these millimeters would look larger to you than to other people, to far-sighted people. So your lenses will minify down to the correct size between each millimeter, between each notch. Once everything is the correct size, you have one step of astigmatism correction. Uncorrected astigmatism makes 6s and 8s look alike with the letters P and F. So think of it as the fine-tune knob. We're going to turn that fine-tune knob from 0 to 90 to 180. We're going to turn it directly to the 90th meridian to make everything nice and crisp. Essentially, you have two curves on your eye, a far-sighted curve and an astigmatic curve. And it's how we line up those two curves to make everything perfect. Now, let's check that. There's one step and we're at 275, one tick mark away from 3. That's because if someone had owed you $2.50, then they borrowed another quarter, they would owe you $2.75. We are at 275 in the red. So your left eye only needs 9 steps of far-sighted correction. And of course, with your glasses off, you can take your glasses off and probably see your fingerprints perfectly with your glasses off. When you put your glasses on, it helps to correct it for distance, but it's going to compromise this. Now, you may still be able to see your fingerprint through the lenses. I'm not sure. I'm not nearsighted. I'm farsighted. I'm the opposite. Whenever I want something to be extra blurry, I just take my glasses off. You can still see the hair on a fly's leg with your glasses off. Unbelievable supervision. Oh, look, there's some of that sawdust. I cleaned off your lenses. And once it's off, I throw it on the floor. But you can see up here great. You just need that correction for far away. So this first numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number could be anywhere from 0 to 180. It's truly an arbitrary number. So now the frame itself sells for $168 in either the 56 or the 59 eye size like you got. Again, this frame comes in 2 sizes, 56, 59, and in 5 colors. Gold, silver, black, gold with tortoise around the edge, or gold with black along the edge. All of those sell for $168. The Transitions Extra Active when you buy a frame from me is $129.99. It costs a little more when I just do the lenses only. The mirror coating adds $69.99 for a total of $367.98. I think I need some more coffee. My mouth just ain't working right. So for $368, you're getting the RayBan 6589 with Transitions Extra Active Gray in the silver flash mirror. This is going to be awesome. This is the first time I've done a silver mirrored lens and a silver frame. I can't wait to see how this is going to turn out. So it's doing the safety bevel on the rear of the lens just so there's no rough edges here. If any portion of this lens comes in contact with the face, your cheek, it's going to be nice and smooth. No rough edges. Take that out. Dry everything off. There's no need to have that block. Take the block off. Pull the sticker away. Dry that off with my hand. Put the sticker on there. Run my thumbnail around. I'm going to do the front surface of the lens this time. Once that's off, go around and do the same thing for the back surface. Water gets a lot of it, but it doesn't get it all. Now I'm going to run my thumbnail around inside the groove. Getting the optical sawdust out of there. And just like the water, my thumbnail gets a lot of it, but it doesn't get all of it. So let's take that toothbrush, run around, get that off. Got some ink. Then once all that sawdust is off, I collect it neatly in one pile, and then I wipe it on the floor. I love making a mess. So let's take the lens out. Again, tucking it in here first against that edge of the string, that little lip. Line that up, make sure the groove is in the center of the lens in the top. Here we go, that's in there better. Come on you, come on you. Use my strap, start at the outside, fold it in half, run that along. And it was quietly, let me do my thumb here, there's no string poking out. And then slide that out. And we are good to go. Let's come down here, check the power of -2 1/4. Also find the optical center. Shouldn't have to move the platform. Let's put a dot on the lens. Oh, I forgot to do it on the other side. Of course, that's at -2 1/4. Rotate that and see if there's any astigmatism correction. There is none. It's the same power all over. And did that work? No. God, how quickly does this ink dry? Somebody help me. Help me. Help me. My kingdom for some ink that will stay and not dry out quickly. Move that out of the way. I guess we can stick with the left. We were just there. Do the same thing now for the right. Find the optical center. Out of habit, I never like to leave a lens blurry. Make sure that is on 90, and it is. That is perfect. Let's put a dot on there. So your pupillary distance for both eyes is 63. I'm going to turn the card around, place the PD stick that was in my pocket on there, and when we hold it, put it on the right lens, we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 63 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. This is the portion every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned that when you get these in the mail, there is a small chance that these could fit too loose. However, there's an 80% chance, too loose or too tight, but there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because of 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get these in standard alignment first, also known as the 3-point stance. I'm just doing a quick inspection around the polished edges there. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set it on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. And when I say wobble, I'm part of that 80%. When I take mine off and I press down on the counter, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. Let me put mine back on. For those of you keeping score at home, I'm wearing the RayBan 2132 New Wayfarer, color 6053 in the 52 eye size. I know I wear this frame a lot. I love it. It's so comfortable, but also wear a lot of blue shirts with pinstripes, so that's when the blue and crystal come in handy to be matching. Press down, there is no wobble. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly and that neither temple is askew. There are no spring hinges to tension, but there's the same amount of tension on each hinge. Now, I send out a selfie request in every package. Jeff, please hook me up with a selfie. I would love to see how these look on you. And the one inside when they're clear, and then go outside to show the silver flash mirror. But I also send out cleaning instructions not only for your frame and your lenses, so that those will last you for years, but also for your case, your RayBan cleaning cloth, and then the premium microfiber cleaning cloth that I provide. And I field test every cloth. This is the one you'll be getting, Jeff. So if you see any wrinkles in here, you know that it works because I've just demonstrated that it does. So this is what your Transitions XTRAactive lenses look like before I've activated them. And here's a good test. I'm wearing the Transition Signature 7. I'm going to put your lenses down there. I'm wearing the Signature 7, which retains about, here's a clear lens next to it. Even though a clear lens retains a little bit of color, every material used, whether glass, plastic, polycarbonate, Trivex, they all absorb a certain amount of light from getting through the lens. That's why there's an anti-glare coating on these, or any lens. Anti-glare lets all the material, all the light come through while keeping out the harmful glare. but regular lens with no coatings whatsoever. Transition Signature 7, which retain about 3 to 5% hue. Transitions Extra Active retain about 5 to 7%. So, but this is what your lenses look like before they've been activated the first time. And you can see the RayBan poster in the back. As I move your lenses over that, you can see how your lenses minify, where these lenses will magnify the lettering through there. Far-sighted, nearsighted, far-sighted, nearsighted. With me, without me. With me, without me. Everyone out there needs glasses. Listen closely. With me, without me. Okay, I think I made my point. So, this is what as stupid as it was, I made my point. So, let's go ahead and activate them, which essentially means expose them to a strong burst of ultraviolet light. Now, as you can see, it takes about 30 to 45 seconds for transition lenses to darken when you go outside. It takes a little bit longer when you come back inside, 45 seconds to a minute 15. Now, Jeff, this is important. Pay attention. All transition lenses will get dark on day 1 and continue to darken every day for the first couple weeks they're exposed. After that, they'll be at their maximum darkness. The only time that Transition Signature 7 lenses like I have won't work is if you're behind the windshield of a car. Your windshield absorbs all the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays that would cause your dashboard to crack from sitting in the sun all day. Now, your Extra Active will get 30 to 50% dark behind a wheel. Now, the only other negative thing about transitions, they don't get as dark when it's 85 and above as they will when it's 85 and below. Now, the Extra Active will get darker than mine, the Signature 7. It's designed for Extra Active people who are outdoors a lot. Oh, that looks awesome. That looks awesome. That almost looks like the silver mirrored lenses out there. Jeff, I'm so glad you got this. Gave me a chance to see. I'm actually learning as I go. That is really cool. The silver mirror with the silver frame. That's a nice touch. Nice touch. And so, yeah, the Extra Active are designed for Extra Active people. They will get darker in hotter weather. Of course, this time of year, these things are going to get super dark. It's only the dog days of summer, the July and August, that they just don't get as dark. But I remind everyone that when it's hot outside, you're miserable, they're miserable. Nobody works 100% when it's 100 degrees. So that's the first time they have been activated. They're going to keep getting darker. Come on, Jeff. We talked about that. Don't you remember? And my buddy who likes to comment on the YouTube videos, I'm thinking of you too. So look at that. You can see the reflection of the posters in there. You can see my reflection. I apologize for that. Nobody wants to see me. But that's cool to see that reflection in the lens. Oh yeah, look at that silver mirror. That is tough. Tough, I tell you. That's a nice pair of glasses. I don't care who you are. So, if you've liked what you've seen, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You'll see more and more videos, more and more glasses with the mirror coatings as they get ordered. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as freeprescriptionlenses.com, on Twitter as freerxlenses. You can contact me on the website under the Contact Me page, or you can email me directly at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. Or better yet, I ask everyone to leave a question or their comment in the comment section below. That way someone can read your question. They may not have had a question about what colors are available or anything having to do with glasses. They may have their own questions. Scroll down and read, and you may be able to answer a question for them. So Jeff in Boston, Mass. Hey, by the way, do you know what khakis are? This is my only Boston joke. It's what you need to start a car in Boston. You know, khakis. All right, I'll stop. I won't quit my day job. So thanks again for the purchase of the RayBan 6589, the color 2501 silver in the 59 eye size. And everyone else has got a chance to, you can see as I'm running my mouth. Now you look through them, you see gray. People look at you, they're going to see the silver. How cool is that? But thanks again for watching, and everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.